My name is Alcoholic. I just want to share today that I'm really grateful for Alcoholics Anonymous, and I'm really grateful for the people that have come before me and that have, for Bill and Bob who, started this program, because I don't know where I would be in my life if it wasn't for AA. I would definitely not have the life I have, and I didn't get it the first time I came into this program. I was pretty young. I was 21 years old, and I had pretty much burned my life to the ground at a young age, and I had actually been sent to a recovery house, and that's where I had my first exposure to AA and the whole 12-step recovery process. And that was where I actually went to my first meeting. And right away I walked in and I just felt comfortable right away, and I said, this is my people, this is my tribe, and I felt connected. And right away I knew that this was going to be a part of my life, and I knew from that early on that if I wanted even a glimmer of a great, positive, good life, that this is where I needed to be. Was I ready at that time to accept that? No. But over the years, anytime that shit hit the fan or things got out of control, I found myself coming into these rooms for solace, for recovery. But I had a big ego, and I thought that I didn't need you guys, and I thought I could do it on my own, and I had reservations. And for me, that was the worst thing, because for this alcoholic, if I have a reservation, there's no way I'm going to stay sober, because that reservation will creep into my mind and it'll just grow and grow and grow until I go out and get loaded again. So, as long as you have a reservation, it's not going to work. I had to truly accept step one, accept the fact that I was powerless over alcohol, and that every time I drank, that my life would become unmanageable. And it might not happen the first time. Definitely, as soon as I pick up that drink, in just a matter of time, my life will get burned to the ground. And I had to try that out and play the tape. I had to touch the stove. I had to realize for myself. And, I had the gift of desperation, G-O-D, gift of desperation. And I just realized that my way wasn't working anymore. My best thinking got me into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, so I know that I don't know how to run my own. Every time that I run my own life, if you guys have read the big book, they talk about the gentleman who's the actor or the director trying to control everything in his life, and that's what I tried to do. And I realized, that wasn't my role. That's God's role. I don't get too attached on outcomes today. I just try to do the next right thing. Is it kind? Is it patient? Is it tolerant? Is it loving? Is it good for me? If I can answer yes to those questions, then maybe it's something that I should be doing. Like a car has a GPS, I have a GGS, a God's guidance system, right? And it kind of puts me in line, because I am off course a lot. Being an alcoholic, being a human, we do get off course sometimes, and we can't be hard on ourselves. But I know as long as I don't pick up that drink, I have a chance today, right? And that is a blessing. That is a blessing. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the 12 steps quickly and talk about how each step actually has changed my life. You know what I mean? And I've been lucky enough with my sponsor to have gone through the big book, and I've actually had a spiritual experience going through the big book with my sponsor. So for step one, I kind of touched into it. When I take a drink, I can't just stop at one drink. You know what I mean? I can't stop at one drink. Wow, that's God calling me, man. Thank you. Oh, okay. So no. I needed that break just to get my thoughts together. So yeah. Yeah, step one. Step one. Yeah, it says we all that are I was never the kind of guy that could have one drink, as soon as I have one drink, this allergy kicks in, this compulsion kicks in, and only an alcoholic can understand what I'm talking about. If you're not an alcoholic, you won't understand. I'll have to fill you in later. But what starts to happen is when I take a drink, something happens inside me, and it's like this hole, and I just want more. Right off the bat, I just want more. And it doesn't matter if I told myself I'm just gonna have one. I can't have one, and it wasn't nothing for me to have two or three bottles of wine in one sitting and then go to shots, and that's just how it is. Once I start, I can't stop. And I never had to drink every day, but I had to drink every weekend. You know what I mean? Like, I would drink every weekend, and then at the end of the weekend I would say, okay, I need a few days to get my head straight and everything, and as soon as the Wednesday or Thursday would come, I'd be salivating because I know the weekend's coming. Because they called me a weekend warrior, right? Because I live for the weekends. I live to drink on the weekends, right? I'd be at all the, Two Lions and all these pubs and stuff because I live for that, right? And that was what I lived for. And also when I drank, I also did things, like I don't have a filter even when I'm sober, like I kind of cross the line sometimes, I get a little inappropriate, right? But it's never but I know when to hold myself back, right? Because I'm sober. But when I drink, I totally cross the line, and I get inappropriate, and I do things I'm not proud of, and I engage in relationships that I regret, and I always have to make amends, and I end up dealing with the cops, and every time something bad happened in my life, alcohol wasn't always because of alcohol, but somehow alcohol always played a part in some way. You know what I mean? So I've been there, and I hung out with some really bad people as well, who were also into their alcoholism, really wild people, party people, clubbers, ravers, just wild, and just no holding back, you know what I mean? It was just anything goes. When we start drinking, anything goes, right? And I was a part of that lifestyle for a long time, and I had some negative consequences through that. And I just realized that one day I got to a point where I just couldn't live like that anymore, and I just got on my knees and I just asked for help, right? And that was kind of my journey into sobriety. Right? And I'm powerless over alcohol. I don't need to play that game anymore. I played that game for 10 years, right? Trying to beat the system, right? Trying to beat the disease, trying to beat the illness. I'm different. I'm not like you guys. Looking for the differences and not the similarities. And I love going to meetings today, man. That's like my drug, I try to go to a meeting every day, and I'm not saying that other people have to do this. This is what I like to do. I like to go to at least a meeting a day. I like to go to the early bird meeting in the morning, and if I can't make that one, then I'll go to another, maybe a nooner or something. But I need my meetings, and I think one meeting a week makes you weak. You know what I mean? I think we need more than that personally, right? And I read the big book. I have a sponsor. I work the 12 steps in my life, and I reap the rewards. I have a good life today. I have a wonderful life today, right? There's wonder in my life, and it's full. So it's wonderful, it's a good life today, and there's no chaos, and I don't got to look over my shoulder, and I don't have any issues with authority, and I work, and anything that happens in my life, I don't have to blame alcohol for it. Life is tough enough as it is. There's enough suffering in life and crazy stuff. Life itself is a journey, and if you add an addiction on top of that, it's a shit show, man. For me, that I can handle life on life's terms, but you throw some alcohol in there, and that's a fuel to the fire. And also for me, my willpower, like when I start drinking, I find it hard to say no to things, right? So then people put other things my way, outside issues and stuff like that, and that happens too, because when I'm drunk, I don't. It's hard for me to say no, right? And it's just, and I just feel so strong and so great when I can go to an event and then there's alcohol and I don't have to drink today, and I can drive home in my car, and like I went to a pool tournament, and there was alcohol there, and I was looking at these people, and I was like, wow, that was me, that was me, and I was so thankful that wasn't me today, and that I was actually looking forward to my meeting the next day, right? Because I have a new life. But I just had enough, I had enough. I hit a bottom, and I'm like, I don't want to live that life anymore, and that was it. Step one, I was powerless over alcohol. My life became unmanageable. Step two, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. I was doing a step with a sponsee, and he said, I told him, I said, write down all the times that alcohol has made your life unmanageable, right? And he's got like 2 pages, and he's reading me these 2 pages, and afterwards he goes, oh, I still think my head still tells me I can drink again. Right? And I said, you just wrote down 2 pages of how alcohols make your life unmanageable, and you think that what happened on page 2, paragraph 1 isn't going to happen again, right? And I go, that's insanity, right? And, for me, the same thoughts that would have got me loaded, a couple years ago, a year and a half ago, those thoughts don't have the same power on me anymore. The same situations, the same mind states. I still get the crazy thinking, the stinking thinking, but right after I get the thought, I get a different thought saying, that's stupid. Don't even think like that. Get your ass to a meeting, call your sponsor, do something, that's me being restored to sanity, right? That I can still, I'm not cured, right? I still have the illness of alcoholism, so I'm still going to get the thoughts. I'm still going to drive by a bar or, get that thought, but the only difference is I don't act on that thought today. Whereas before I would drive by the bar and I would actually go in the bar, because I had no choice. But today I have the thought and it's like, no, you know better. This is not the solution today, right? Because that is not the solution. Alcohol is not the solution. The girlfriend is not the solution. The trip to Hawaii is not the solution. The job is not the solution. The solution is a relationship with the power greater than myself, the 12 steps, and this fellowship. That's the solution. And that is the most important thing in my life today. This program is more important than my family, my friends, my job, everything. Because without this program, this is my foundation. I don't have anything. And as soon as I don't make this program number 1, I'm gone. Because anytime I put this program on the back burner, made it number 3, number 4, I was done. This program is the most important thing. I have to live and breathe AA all the time. It's the first thing, I wake up in the morning and I do the 3rd step AA prayer, right? First thing, so that's AA right in the morning, right? Try to go to an early bird meeting, so right away I'm in the fellowship, right away, 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm in the fellowship, right? And then I use that all throughout the day, right? All throughout the day, and if I'm really jammed in, I'll go to a meeting at 8 o'clock, right? And if I can't get to a meeting, I'll call somebody in the program and I'll talk to them if I really need to, right? If I really, really need to. So, that's step 2 for me. And, step 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him, right? And, for me, when you decide, that's like suicide, that's like homicide, right? There's no going back for me, and I put my life in God's hands. He's the boss, I'm the employee. I'm quoting straight from the big book, right? He's the boss, I'm the employee. We're here to play the role He's assigned, right? My life isn't mine. I didn't ask to be here. I'm here for a purpose. I'm here to play a role. And every time I try to do it my way, things don't go well because that's not what I'm meant to be doing. Right? So I have to do God's will, and it's kind of weird. It's like, how do you know the difference between your will and God's will? Like I said earlier, is it kind? Is it patient? Is it tolerant? Is it loving? And people think, oh, if I give my life to God, what's going to happen to me? Am I going to become like the hole in the donut? Am I going to just disappear? No. It's so funny. It's like a contradiction. When I give my life to God every morning, I end up becoming more independent. I end up having more self-esteem. I end up getting more things done. I end up feeling more powerful. I end up having more protection against the drink, and I end up being happier, So it's funny because it's like surrender to win. You give your whole life to the Creator. We turn to our lives. That means my social life, my religion, everything. I give it all to my higher power. My whole life, it's just yours. Take it. Take me. I offer myself to Thee to build with me and to do with me as Thou will, right? Just take it. I don't run the show. You are the Creator. I can't even create a grain of sand. I stick my hand out, I can't even create a grain of sand. I'm not the Creator. I don't have all the answers. I don't even know what's best for me. Sometimes I get what I want and it's not even what I want. Sometimes I get what I want and ends up being worse. Be careful what you wish for, right? And God laughs when you make plans. Because this is not about me right now. This is about a higher power. This is about having that relationship. This is not just a belief. This is like a relationship, a friendship almost. This is a connection. This is something very deep. And I love the fact that there is no AA God. We can believe in the higher power that we want. There's no AA God that you got to believe this. This is not a cult. They don't tell you what God to believe in. We can believe in whatever God we want. And that's the beauty of it, right? It's all inclusive. There's so much room. It's so broad, right? Some people, it's the universe, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is the power greater than you, right? Death is a power greater than me. You are, I'm powerless over you guys. It's just when you turn your will and your life over, and I can't give that to anybody. This great speech and tell you this is a personal thing that you have to find on your own, but find it. Do step 3 with your sponsor. Do step 3 with your sponsor and find that higher power, because when you find that relationship, it's powerful, and that's where I go for comfort and solace. Is my higher power. I pray, I meditate, I get in touch with that energy, right? It's very powerful. So yeah, step 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. And this is where something you do with your sponsor. Some people do it, with a preacher or a pastor. And what they do is you just write down everything, about your life, your resentments, your anger, character defects, all these things that are blocking you. Because what actually happens is when you have anger and you have resentment, it blocks you from the sunlight of the Spirit. You see what I'm saying? Your higher power can't flow through you because you're blocked with anger, resentment, judgment. So the higher power, it's like a window. If the window is dirty, the sunlight can't shine through the window, right? But if the window is clean, the sunlight of the Spirit can shine right through. So this is step 4 to me. And what I got when I read the big book is we must get rid of all that, and with somebody we trust, because now you're going to be sharing a lot of private, things. When we share in a meeting, we share very generally what's going on, our experience, our strength and hope. But when we do a step 4, we get to the nitty gritty of it all, right? So it has to be with somebody you trust, and you just let it out, and you just let it out, and that's it. The sunlight of the Spirit can shine through. It's really beautiful, and I am running out of time, so I'm not going to get through all the 12 steps. I'm just going to slip right to 12 step number 12. Which is the biggest gift that I've been given, is I've had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps and working this program. And, I just feel like, this has been such a gift to me that I have to give it away, And that's why when I get asked by my, friend Jesse, amazing gentleman there, to speak today, I had to do it. Because if I can, help even one person or make one person want to stay sober another day, that's good enough for me. I can't make the world sober. I can't give. If I could give what I have, I'd go to Main and Hastings and give everybody a little bit of what I had and clean up the whole I would do it, but I can't. All I can do is share my story, share my experience, my hope, what I've been taught. I'm not no guru. Everything I'm telling you, I've been taught this. I didn't make this stuff up. This stuff has been taught to me. I've, peeped sponsors and old timers. I sit with them. I talk with them. I pick their brain. And you know what? They share with me these things. And you know what? I take it in. And when I have the opportunity to give back, I do. Do service, work with newcomers, go to meetings, have fun with it. This is a fun program, and get it off your chest and grow and find God and stay in the light. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. My name is Pollock. I just want to share today that